I'm Donna, 28F, and I need to share the wild journey I've been on with my job over the past 5 years. It all started when I landed a position at Tech Brand, a small but ambitious tech startup, right after finishing my computer science degree. I grew up in a small town where technology wasn't really a big deal. My parents ran a local bakery, and they always hoped I'd take over the family business. But from the moment I got my first computer at 12, I was hooked. I spent countless hours tinkering with code, much to my parents' confusion and mild concern. They supported me, though, even when I announced I wanted to study computer science instead of culinary arts. College was a whirlwind of late-night coding sessions, hackathons, and dreams of making it big in Silicon Valley. When I graduated, I applied to dozens of tech companies, big and small. Tech Brand wasn't my first choice, to be honest. It was a relatively unknown startup, but something about their mission statement, revolutionizing personal productivity through AI, caught my attention. The founder, Sean, 45M, interviewed me himself. He had this magnetic personality that made you want to impress him. He talked about his vision for Tech Brand with such passion that I found myself getting excited about the possibilities. When he offered me the job on the spot, I accepted without hesitation. My first day at Tech Brand was a mix of excitement and nerves. The office was nothing like I'd imagined. Instead of sleek and corporate, it was cozy and eclectic. Mismatched furniture, whiteboards covered in scribbles, and the constant hum of people brainstorming ideas. I was assigned to the software development team, working on our main product, an AI-powered personal assistant app. My direct supervisor, Lisa, 36F, took me under her wing from day one. She had this no-nonsense attitude that was intimidating at first, but I soon realized it came from a place of dedication to her work. Lisa taught me more in my first month at Tech Brand than I'd learned in 4 years of college. The first year flew by in a blur of coding sprints, product launches, and team-building exercises, including a disastrous attempt at an escape room that ended with Sean accidentally breaking a prop and us being asked never to return. I was learning so much, and my colleagues felt more like family than coworkers. We celebrated each other's birthdays, had weekly game nights, and even started a Tech Brand band, which, let's be honest, was more enthusiastic than talented. I even got a small raise after 6 months, which felt like validation that I was on the right track. I used the extra money to finally move out of my tiny studio apartment, and into a slightly less tiny one-bedroom. It wasn't much, but it was mine, and I felt like I was finally becoming a real adult. But things started to change during my second year. Tech Brand was growing rapidly, and with that growth came increased pressure. Sean began pushing for faster development cycles and more features. At first, it was exciting, we were making real progress, and our app was gaining traction in the market. But soon, the workload became overwhelming. We were expected to work late nights and weekends, often without extra compensation. The cozy office began to feel claustrophobic as more desks were crammed in to accommodate new hires. The weekly game nights became monthly, then stopped altogether. The Tech Brand band's instruments gathered dust in the corner of the break room. I tried to keep up, but it was taking a toll on my health and personal life. I barely had time to call my parents, let alone visit them. My friends stopped inviting me to things because I always had to cancel at the last minute. I was constantly stressed, surviving on a diet of energy drinks and takeout. When I approached Lisa about it, she sympathized but said it was just part of startup culture and that we all needed to make sacrifices for the company's success. I couldn't help but notice the dark circles under her eyes and the way her hands shook slightly from too much coffee. Around this time, a new developer joined our team, Alex, 30M. He was brilliant and quickly became Sean's go-to person for difficult projects. Alex had this quiet confidence about him that was really impressive. He could solve problems in minutes that would take the rest of us hours. I admired Alex's skills and work ethic, and we started spending a lot of time together at work. Over late-night coding sessions and shared frustrations about the increasing workload, we grew closer. Alex had a dry sense of humor that never failed to make me laugh, even when we were debugging code at 2 a.m. As the months went by, I realized I was developing feelings for Alex. It wasn't just his coding skills that impressed me, it was his kindness, his sense of humor, and the way he always had my back during team meetings. Once, when I was struggling to explain a complex algorithm to the team, Alex jumped in and helped me articulate my ideas. He never tried to take credit, just supported me quietly. I didn't act on these feelings, though. Office romances seemed like a bad idea, especially given how intense our work environment was. Plus, I wasn't even sure if Alex felt the same way. He was friendly with everyone, and I didn't want to misinterpret his kindness as something more. The turning point came during our company's 3rd anniversary party. Sean had rented out a fancy rooftop bar for the occasion, complete with an open bar and a live band. It was the first time in months that the whole team had relaxed and had fun together. After a few drinks, Alex and I found ourselves alone on the balcony. The city lights sparkled below us, and in that moment, all the stress and pressure of work faded away. We talked about our dreams, our fears, and our hopes for the future. Alex confessed that he had feelings for me too, and we shared our first kiss under the stars. From that night on, Alex and I started dating in secret. We were careful not to let it affect our work, but having each other's support made the long hours and stressful projects more bearable. We'd sneak moments together during lunch breaks or after work, exploring the city hand in hand or curling up on my couch to watch movies. For about a year, we managed to keep our relationship under wraps. It wasn't always easy. There were times when I wanted to shout from the rooftops how happy I was, or when I had to pretend not to care when Alex worked late with other team members. But we made it work, finding joy in the little moments we could steal together. But our little bubble was about to burst. One day, Sean called me into his office. My heart raced as I sat down across from him, wondering if he had somehow found out about Alex and me. But what he said next was even more shocking. Sean revealed that he knew about our relationship and that he was Alex's uncle. Apparently, he had brought Alex into the company to groom him as his successor. Sean explained that he had been watching me closely over the years and was impressed with my work ethic and skills. He said he saw potential in me to be a leader in the company. Then came the bombshell. Sean offered me a promotion to head of software development, effectively making me Alex's superior. The catch? I had to end my relationship with Alex. Sean argued that it would create conflicts of interest and disrupt the team dynamics. I was stunned. On one hand, this was an incredible opportunity that could skyrocket my career. It was the kind of position I had dreamed of when I was in college, hunched over my laptop in the library at the VAM. On the other hand, I had genuine feelings for Alex. The thought of ending our relationship for a job felt wrong, like I was betraying not just Alex but also myself. Sean gave me a week to decide, swearing me to secrecy in the meantime. Now, I'm torn between my career aspirations and my heart. I haven't told Alex about this yet, and the weight of this secret is crushing me. Every time he smiles at me across the office or sends me a sweet text, I feel a pang of guilt and confusion. I keep thinking about my parents and how proud they would be if I got this promotion. But then I remember how they always taught me that integrity and relationships were more important than any job. I think about the future Alex and I have tentatively started planning together, weekend getaways, maybe even moving in together someday. Can I really give that up for a job title? And then there's the bigger question, how do I deal with the fact that our boss has been manipulating us all along? It makes me question everything about my time at Tech Brand. Were any of the relationships I formed there genuine, or was everyone just a pawn in Sean's grand plan? I need advice. Reddit. What would you do in my situation? Should I take the promotion and end things with Alex? Or should I choose love over career advancement? And how do I confront the manipulation and deceit that seems to be at the heart of the company I've dedicated the last 5 years of my life to? I'm lost and confused, caught between my ambitions and my heart. Any insights or advice would be deeply appreciated. Update 1. It's been a month since my last post, and to say a lot has happened would be an understatement. I want to thank everyone for their advice and support. Your comments really helped me gain perspective on the situation and gave me the courage to take action. After days of internal struggle and sleepless nights, I decided to be honest with Alex about Sean's offer. I couldn't bear the thought of making such a life-altering decision without involving him. The weight of the secret was eating me up inside, affecting both our relationship and my work performance. I asked Alex to meet me at the little park near our apartments, the one where we had our first official date. It was a beautiful spring evening, the kind that usually filled me with joy, but that night I felt nothing but anxiety. As we sat on our favorite bench, the one with a view of the duck pond, I took a deep breath and told Alex everything. I explained Sean's offer, the ultimatum, and the revelation about their family connection. As I spoke, I watched Alex's expression change from confusion to shock to anger. When I finished, Alex was silent for what felt like an eternity. Then he dropped a bombshell of his own. He admitted that he had known about Sean's plan all along. Sean had approached him before he joined Tech Brand, explaining that he wanted Alex to learn the ropes and eventually take over the company. However, Alex claimed he had no idea that Sean would try to manipulate our relationship this way. I felt like the ground had disappeared beneath my feet. All this time, Alex had known about Sean's plans and hadn't told me. I asked him why, trying to keep the hurt out of my voice. He explained that he had wanted to prove himself on his own merits, without the influence of his connection to Sean. He said he had genuinely fallen for me and that our relationship had nothing to do with his uncle's plans. We spent hours talking that night, trying to make sense of the situation and figure out what to do. We rehashed our entire relationship, questioning every moment, every interaction. Had any of it been real, or were we both just pawns in Sean's game? As the night wore on and the park emptied around us, we came to a realization. Regardless of how our relationship started, what we had built together was genuine. The late-night conversations, the support we'd given each other through tough times at work, the dreams we'd shared, those couldn't be faked. In the end, we decided that we couldn't continue working for Tech Brand. The manipulation and deceit were too much to bear, regardless of the career opportunities. We both felt that staying would only lead to more doubt and pain, poisoning both our professional lives and our relationship. The next day, we both went to Sean's office and resigned. I'll never forget the look on Sean's face when we walked in together, hand in hand. He seemed to realize immediately that his plan had backfired. Sean was furious. He accused us of being ungrateful and threatened to blacklist us in the tech industry. He ranted about how he had given us opportunities, how he had shaped our careers. But we stood our ground. I told Sean that no job was worth compromising my integrity or my happiness. Alex added that he no longer wanted any part of the company if this was how it operated. Leaving Tech Brand wasn't easy. We had both invested years of our lives into the company, and walking away from the projects we had poured our hearts into was painful. As we packed up our desks, I couldn't help but feel a sense of loss. This had been my first job out of college, the place where I had grown from a nervous new grad into a confident developer. But I knew we were making the right choice. In the weeks that followed, Alex and I supported each other as we looked for new jobs. It was a stressful time, filled with resume rewrites, coding challenges, and nerve-wracking interviews. There were days when I questioned our decision, especially when I saw my savings dwindling. But having Alex by my side made it bearable. It was during this time that our relationship truly blossomed. We no longer had to hide our feelings or sneak around. We could finally be a normal couple, going on dates without worrying about bumping into coworkers. We talked openly about our fears and hopes for the future, supporting each other through the uncertainty. There were moments of doubt, especially when leads for new jobs fell through or when we heard about Tech Brand's continued success in the news. But we reminded each other that our happiness and self-respect were worth more than any high-powered job or fancy title. About 3 weeks after leaving Tech Brand, I received a call from Lisa, my former supervisor. She had heard about our departure and wanted to know what had happened. When I explained the situation, she was shocked. She revealed that Sean had pulled similar stunts with other employees in the past, using personal relationships as leverage for business gains. Lisa's call was a turning point. She suggested that we consider taking legal action against Sean and Tech Brand for creating a hostile work environment and for the emotional distress we had suffered. At first, I was hesitant. The idea of a legal battle seemed daunting, and I worried about the impact it might have on our future in the tech industry. But the more Alex and I discussed it, the more we realized that staying silent would only allow Sean to continue manipulating others. We thought about our former colleagues, still working under Sean's toxic leadership. We thought about future employees who might fall victim to his schemes. We decided to consult with a lawyer who specializes in employment law. As of now, we're in the early stages of building a case against Tech Brand and Sean. It's a scary process, but we feel it's necessary to hold them accountable for their actions. We're also reaching out to other former employees to see if they've had similar experiences. The response has been overwhelming. It seems Sean's manipulation ran deeper than we had imagined. Through all of this, Alex and I have grown stronger as a couple. We're learning to trust each other more deeply and to face challenges as a team. While the future is uncertain, we're committed to supporting each other and fighting for what's right. I'll keep you updated on how things progress with the legal case and our job searches. Thank you again for all your support, Reddit. It means more than you know. Update 2. It's been 3 months since my last update, and I'm back with some significant developments in our situation. First, the legal front. Our case against Tech Brand and Sean has been moving forward, albeit slowly. Our lawyer, a fierce woman named Priya, 42F, has been amazing. She's been guiding us through the complex process and helping us gather evidence. We've been in touch with several former Tech Brand employees, and many have come forward with their own stories of manipulation and unfair treatment. It turns out Sean's tactics weren't limited to Alex and me. He had a pattern of using personal relationships and information to control his employees. The most surprising turn of events came when we were contacted by Sean's ex-wife, Mariam, 43F. She reached out after hearing about our case through mutual connections in the tech industry. Mariam revealed that Sean's manipulative behavior extended far beyond his professional life. She shared documentation of emotional abuse and financial manipulation during their marriage, which ended 2 years ago. This information has strengthened our case significantly. On the career front, things have been looking up. About a month ago, I landed a job at a smaller tech company that focuses on developing educational software. The work is challenging and rewarding, and the company culture is night and day compared to Tech Brand. My new boss, Rachel, 50F, is supportive and emphasizes work-life balance. It feels surreal to work in an environment where I'm valued for my skills and not constantly under pressure. Alex has also found a new position, working for a startup that develops sustainable energy solutions. He's excited about the work and the company's mission. We're both earning less than we did at Tech Brand, but the improvement in our quality of life more than makes up for it. Our relationship has continued to grow stronger through all of this. Going through such a challenging experience together has deepened our bond. We've had to learn to communicate more openly and trust each other implicitly. There have been tough moments, especially when the stress of the legal battle gets to us, but we've worked through them together. One unexpected outcome of this whole ordeal has been the support we've received from the tech community. After word got out about our case, we've been contacted by numerous people in the industry who have faced similar situations. It's opened our eyes to how prevalent these issues are, and we've started thinking about ways we can help create positive change in the tech world. Alex and I have been discussing the idea of starting a support group or resource center for tech workers who have experienced workplace manipulation or abuse. We're in the early stages of planning, but we're excited about the possibility of turning our negative experience into something that could help others. We've been reaching out to HR professionals, employment lawyers, and counselors to get advice on how to structure such an organization. As for Tech Brand, we've heard through the grapevine that things aren't going so well for them. Several key employees have left in the wake of our departure and the rumors surrounding our legal case. Their latest product launch was delayed, and there are whispers of financial troubles. Sean has been conspicuously absent from public events and media appearances. His LinkedIn profile now lists him as on sabbatical from Tech Brand. We're not sure what's going on behind the scenes, but it seems like the company is in turmoil. Our lawyer is optimistic about our case. She believes we have a strong chance of reaching a favorable settlement, given the evidence we've gathered and the number of witnesses willing to testify about Sean's behavior. While the past few months have been challenging, Alex and I both feel like we're finally on the right path. We're looking forward to putting this chapter behind us and focusing on building a positive future, both in our careers and our relationship. I'll update again when there are significant developments in our case. Thank you all for your continued support and advice. It's been a source of strength during this difficult time. Update 3. It's been 6 months since my last update, and I'm excited to share some major developments in our lives. First, the legal battle with Tech Brand and Sean has finally come to an end. After months of negotiations and a few tense court appearances, we reached a settlement. While I can't disclose the exact terms due to confidentiality agreements, I can say that the outcome was favorable for us and the other former employees who joined the case. The settlement included not only financial compensation but also a mandate for Tech Brand to implement new policies to prevent workplace manipulation and abuse. Sean was forced to step down as CEO, and the company is now under new management. It's a bittersweet victory. While we're glad to see some justice, it's sad to think about how many people were hurt along the way. On a personal note, Alex and I have some big news: we're engaged. After everything we've been through together, we realize that we make an incredible team, both personally and professionally. Alex proposed during a weekend getaway to the mountains, and it was perfect. We're planning a small, intimate wedding for next spring. Career-wise, things have been going well for both of us. I've been promoted to lead developer at my educational software company, and I'm loving the challenges and opportunities that come with the role. Alex's startup has secured major funding for their sustainable energy projects, and he's thriving in his position. Remember the idea we had about starting a support group for tech workers? Well, it's become a reality. We launched Tech Ethics, a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting ethical practices in the tech industry and supporting workers who have experienced workplace abuse or manipulation. The response has been overwhelming. We've already helped dozens of people navigate difficult work situations and find better environments. Tech Ethics has also partnered with several tech companies to develop and implement ethical workplace policies. It's incredibly rewarding to see positive changes happening in the industry we love. Our experiences have also inspired us to become more involved in advocacy work. We've spoken at several tech conferences about the importance of workplace ethics and employee rights. It's not always easy to share our story, but the positive feedback and the knowledge that we might be helping others make it worthwhile. As for our personal lives, Alex and I have found a beautiful balance between our work passions and our relationship. We make sure to set aside time for each other, whether it's cooking dinner together, going for hikes, or just relaxing at home. We've also started seeing a couples therapist, not because we're having problems, but because we want to ensure we have the tools to maintain a strong relationship as we navigate our busy lives and the lingering effects of our Tech Brand experience. Looking back on the past year and a half, it's amazing to see how far we've come. There were moments when I thought the stress and uncertainty would break us, but instead, it made us stronger. We've learned so much about ourselves, each other, and the kind of life we want to build together. To anyone out there facing a similar situation, whether it's workplace manipulation, a difficult ethical dilemma, or any other challenge, I want to say, stay true to your values, surround yourself with supportive people, and don't be afraid to stand up for what's right. It might be tough in the moment, but in the long run, your integrity is worth more than any job or paycheck. Thank you, Reddit, for being there throughout this journey. Your advice, support, and encouragement have meant the world to us. While this will likely be my last update on this situation, know that your kindness has had a lasting impact on our lives. Here's to new beginnings, ethical workplaces, and the power of standing up for what's right.